There you go. For the last 2 hours, Tom Lowe. There you go, Tom Lowe. Great stuff. Back in your radio next week. There he went. He will be back next week, 7 to 9 p.m. with the Audio Sunshine Radio Show. Exactly what I needed tonight, Tom, believe you me. Thank you so much. Enjoyed it immensely. Great. Thank you. And it is the Digital Groove right now until 11 o'clock tonight, being 26th of September 2022. I hope it finds you well out there. I am a lot better than last week. I was in my final day of COVID isolation last week, so I was almost out of the tunnel, the COVID tunnel, having contracted COVID mysteriously 2 weeks ago almost, and I'm now negative testing and all that kind of thing, and living life hopefully as normal as we say nowadays. So yes, anyway, thank you for all your well wishes throughout all of that. Hopefully a bit in finer voice this week, I would hope. Anyway, we have so many tunes to get through tonight, really do. It's been that way for months, and it's a really good complaint, don't get me wrong. Keep them coming, guys. Keep those amazing tunes coming. We'll try and get as many of them in the air every week as we can, but we need to park them a little bit tonight for a few moments. And when I say a few moments, probably the first 15-20 minutes of the show tonight, I want to throw over to a dear friend of ours. Some sad, devastatingly sad news, surprisingly out of nowhere news came on Thursday evening on my Facebook, and I'm going to just read it out to you. It involves somebody you may know very, very well. Certainly you might know the name. You've definitely danced to his tunes, you've listened to his tunes, you've enjoyed his tunes, and you know this man well if you've been listening to our show over the last 14 years. And if you're a latecomer to our show in the last few years, you mightn't be as familiar with his name, but I'm sure you do know a lot of his tunes. I'm talking about Jay Benham from Solid Ground Recordings previously, and indeed from Keeping Records more recently, but a dear friend of ours, really, really dear friend of ours. Big feature on this show for so many years, particularly in the early stages of the Digital Groove, and we're going to hear some of that shortly. But I'm just going to read out exactly, because this has been made public and it's been made public by his parents, so I'm just going to read out what I read on Thursday evening on Facebook, just in case anyone is unaware of what's going on. Now, I never actually knew this, but Jay Benham's real name was Jeremy. I didn't know it was Jeremy. There you go. But here it is. This is from his parents. This is, I'm almost beyond words to have to tell you that our beloved Jeremy lost his life in the early hours of Thursday morning, just gone. He was recently diagnosed with bowel cancer after many years of fruitless investigation, and rather than become a burden to his family, he chose to take his own life. We have no idea that he had made these plans, and both his dad and I spent time with him, laughing and having fun just days ago, celebrating his 50th birthday. Jay was funny, witty, clever, gregarious, gifted, and much loved by those who knew him. The world is already a greyer, sadder place without him in it, and we can absolutely concur with that. He was a dear friend of ours as well. We knew none of that. I knew none of what was going on with him, and I can't imagine what he was going through personally with all that going on, and indeed made even sadder by such a big occasion only just before his 50th birthday on September 11th. So that news came through. I just want to flag that because I know it can be an issue sometimes when things like this are brought up on the radio or indeed on television or any public media circles. So if you're affected by that and you feel overwhelmed by that, or it does trigger something for you in this current climate, you can ring Pieta House, by the way, 1-800-247-247, or you can text help to 51444, or indeed the Samaritans here in Ireland is 116-123 if you're affected by what you just heard, and that's very important as well. But our dear friend Jay Benham, no longer with us. Absolutely can't believe that news. We loved him dearly. He was a really good friend of ours. You'll hear why in a second, but he'd moved a little bit away from house music in the more latter years, and we still kept in touch. And we just didn't have as much music from him as we would have in the early part of the Digital Groove, but he featured so many times. He was such a generous friend to us on the radio here, and we want to give him back some of our time now to make a tribute to him. Okay, so I'm going to play you some Jay Benham music. You're going to hear some of the music referenced in what I'm going to play you now, which is some clips of him from our previous shows. This goes back, believe it or not, to 10 years. In fact, it goes back, I think, to just look at my notes here, the 25th of June. Some of this interview clip 2012, so over 10 years ago, over a decade ago. And then we're going to fast forward to New Year's Eve 2012, which again is coming up on its 10th year anniversary. This is an interview clip from 2012 where Jay was chatting about winding down Solid Ground activity, and he came on to tell us about it because it was, again, Solid Ground were just a staple of the Digital Groove throughout their tenure from day one, and we had so many tracks by them on the show. And we're going to fast forward then to New Year's Eve 2012 where he was chatting to us about the Benham and Brown EP, which is very, very important because it has him on the vocals. Okay, it has him on the vocals, and that was kind of a big deal at the time because he kind of branched out and did house music vocals, which is brilliant. You're going to hear a little bit of story behind that. And then we are going to talk about he was in the top 20 that year, both on Solid Ground and himself with Danny Clark. He was at number 4, believe it or not, that year in our top 20 actually out of the top 30, and he was also with the same track Body and Soul at number 8, number 16. There are two different mixes. There you go. You'll hear a bit of reference to that, and you'll also hear reference to a gargoyle statue that was discovered in Melbourne in Australia, and it looked very like him. So I don't know. Anyway, that's all in the interview, just to give some context. So here's Jay Benham, our dear friend, Lord rest him, and big love to everyone. We'll talk about it afterwards. But look, this is Jay Benham talking to us just over 10 years ago on the radio. Jay.
Hello, mate. How are you?
It's with a bit of sadness we introduced you tonight, I suppose. But welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Now, explain all, to put people in the picture who maybe missed the announcement last week. After 2.5 years, you're hanging up the Solid Ground earphones as such. Tell us what's going on. Tell us the big news anyway.
Well, I think in a nutshell, it's time. It just feels like it's the right time to do this. We've had an amazing time. As well, we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of success with the label, and I think Danny and I, having had a couple of really lovely conversations about this recently, couldn't really be happier than where we are, getting as far as we have in just 2.5 years. So, however, we did always say to ourselves that we would give it 2 years and then have a chat about how it went, to see whether or not we felt it was a success or not. And as I say, in terms of it feeling like it's the time to move on, I'm not bored with it, but I have been writing house music for 15 years. And since about 2005, when Danny and I first started working together, a few years before we set the label up, since then I haven't written anything except house. It's been vastly the house more than anything else, predominantly rather. And as you know, I do all sorts of different bits, all sorts of different styles. And I'd always wanted actually to write more music for TV and films and ads. It's an ambition I'd had for ages. But when we decided to start Solid Ground in 2009, everything Solid Ground had to become the new focus, And I suppose by its very nature as a new record label, it just took priority over everything else I was working on, while Danny and I were trying to get people interested in our records and get the label into people's earphones. Ironically, one of the disadvantages of having a relatively successful record label is trying to run it. Do you know what I mean? It's like managing the thing can take an enormous amount of time, vast amounts of paperwork, and all of a sudden you find a day is gone, a couple of days have gone, and you're not that further forward. So, as I said, we were always going to have another look at this within 2 years, and we're now 2.5 years down the line. And I think it's a fair time to assess whether or not the label's been a success or whether it's been worth it. The answer is definitely that it has been a success, and it has definitely been worth it. But to be frank, the industry these days is such that you really can't earn a living out of a label the way that you could out of, say, 15 years ago. And unfortunately, I have to make a living, mate. So that's part and parcel of the reason. Every time I've spoken to you, I've always mentioned there's a side work that's going on with me and Angie Brown. And because the way Angie and I write together, it's a little bit too commercial for Solid Ground recording. So we've always held on to these tunes. And also, I've got a load of work to do on those tracks, Niall, so it's going to be, I'll still be sitting in front of the computer wearing my, my two hats, as you say, for a few months yet, just to get stuff out of the way.
Now, that was back in June. He said he had some work to do on those tracks. The work is finished, I suppose, because that's going to come out very, very soon. There is a statue in Melbourne since being built to this particular man, Jay Benham. A very belated good happy Christmas to you, sir.
Happy Christmas, Niall Redmond.
And of course, we forgot to mention the jingle. Absolutely.
No, that's the only thing that's kept me current is that jingle. Thanks very much for playing it.
Good Lord. Well, that was back in June, that little bit of footage we had there, the end of June. And as I say, since that, what have you been doing? First of all, I have to say, right, he's had a very interesting Christmas. I'll read it from his Facebook status, including a chest infection, norovirus, and a cold. You don't sound too under the weather, Jay Benham. Belated happy Christmas to you.
Thank you. No, it's been all right. I'm a lot better now than I have been for the last 3 or 4 days. I've just been completely all over the shop, not quite knowing what's going on. I've been making bad calls, forgetting who I've spoken to, forgetting what I've said to people. It's been great, and that's sort of without any drugs. It's just this virus. It's been very, very impressive. Yeah. So I have to stay away from all booze and all that kind of thing. And but no, it's the first time I felt normal in quite a long time. So a pleasure to be with you, mate.
Good, and it's a pleasure to be with you and talking to you on New Year's Eve, of course. Now, I know you have some friends over, so we don't want to keep you too long, but we did want to have a final kind of catch up. You have sort of come out of semi-retirement to bring us the Benham and Brown EP. You are singing on that EP as well. It is you vocally, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, one of the tracks, Dangerous Girl, which is the one I'm probably going to ask you to play because I'm that narcissistic. But yeah, I've been singing as a session singer years and years before I was doing house music, really. So before I used to write with other people, I used to write effectively using my vocals and then send those bits to other people, and they could then find out if they wanted to use them, and they'd put their vocals on. And back in the day, way back, I used to be writing for people like 19 Management and that kind of thing, Simon Fuller's company.
Wow.
So they were always supposedly guide vocals for somebody else to then sing on top. So we were doing stuff for, oh God, I'm going to say Gareth Gates. I can't believe I'm going to say that live on your show. But I was writing bits and pieces for him and that kind of thing. Actually, nothing ever came of it, unfortunately, but we got ever so close with those bits and pieces. So for a while, we were doing what we were calling top-line work. So we were writing top-line vocals for people to then choose whether they wanted to use or not. And kind of on the basis of that, when Danny and I first started working together, I recorded some vocals for this Dangerous Girl. I wrote the vocals, and I thought, well, I haven't got anyone else to record them. I'll record them myself, and hadn't really done anything like it in the house sort of area before. As I think I said to you, that particular tune has been sitting on a shelf for at least, I think we started that in about 2006, 2007, something like that. It was one of those tracks that we put together that never even... it was one of the tracks... Sorry, let me say that sentence again. It was one of those tracks we put together that wasn't really designed for... Well, Solid Ground didn't even exist at that point. At that stage, Danny and I were trying to get our music signed to other record labels. We really liked that one, but we never actually put it out. It was never really finished. It just got shelved. And then it got remade, and then various different guises of it. So, I got my friend Ben to come in and play live guitar and bass and that kind of thing on it. So it kind of made it into a new, slightly more exciting sound rather than a slightly synth-based version.
When you talked to us last time, you were, of course, talking about pursuing other projects, and I know you mentioned kind of other things you've been delving into over the past 6-7 years there, but have you been doing stuff like that since you've sort of stepped away from the Solid Ground limelight? What have you been up to in the last 6 months?
To be completely honest, I haven't. The stepping away from Solid Ground, that was a kind of an exit strategy that started back in February to ensure that the label itself could easily continue without me. I was handing over more and more bits and pieces to Danny and so forth. So as that took place, and as I knew that I could then go public about it in summer, as I did actually on your show, I then realised that there's this set of tracks, 4 tracks that were with Angie, and I've always been saying to you, I even mentioned just then in the interview that I've been working on these things with Angie over the last few years. So this has taken quite a while to come to fruition. But because I could stop working on the Solid Ground stuff, I could focus on those 4 tracks, get them completely finished. And Danny, although, we're great pals and great business colleagues, he was very clear about it and said, look, this never really quite sits with Solid Ground's style. It's a little bit too, I always say commercial, which is probably a bit unfair, but it's I don't know, there's a bit, we're soulful and underground on Solid Ground, and this stuff is a little bit more in your face, So it was never none of the stuff that I was doing with Angie was going to go out on Solid Ground. So I was always looking for another outlet, but B, I'd never really had the opportunity to finish the tracks because of all the work that Solid Ground needed doing. So in the last, I can't believe it's been 6 months actually, now you say 6, but it's in the time since I've left, I've really just been working my fingers to the bone or sort of nose to the grindstone just to get those 4 tracks completed. Because, between you and me and your listeners, they were a bit dated. They sounded, I did a couple of them a few years ago, and music moves on quickly, and styles move on quickly. So there were a few things that really needed to be rejigged and new life breathed into them. Look, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, Niall. I'm one of these people who can spend up to 3 weeks on a track and still not be happy with it. I'm not one of these people who knocks tracks out.
There's a rumour you're the Donald Fagen of house music, absolutely.
Yeah, or the Rip Van Winkle, one of the two.
Thanks so much for coming on this evening once again. I know it won't be the last time we'll have a chat. We'll certainly be talking to you in 2013 somewhere, even if you have to be on a panel of experts. We'll get you back on. Okay?
My pleasure as ever, mate.
If people down under want to go and see your statue in Melbourne, do you know exactly where it is?
I don't, all I can say is if you follow me on Facebook, you've probably seen the picture already. If you haven't, I'm not going to advertise it. It's not very flattering.
It's a wonderful bust. I thought it was fantastic.
I think there's 3 full-size or even larger-than-life bronze or brass statues and that just happens to be one of the faces on there, which is uncanny. Danny Clark is currently in Sydney and has just got back from Melbourne, and he sent me the picture going, I've just found Jay Benham in Melbourne. Thanks for that, Dan. Nice one. Big love to you, by the way.
Have a great rest of your New Year's Eve. Enjoy it with your pals. I know you're having a bit of a house party. If you can, keep the Digital Groove on, because we've got some great mixes coming up, including CJ McIntosh, and you never know what you'd hear, even from your own stable of records and production. So listen, Happy New Year.
By the way, thanks very much for putting us in the top 30s as well. I think you put 3 of our records in your top 30s too. I'm on my knees giving you the We Are Not Worthy song right now. That's so really lovely of you. Thank you.
Not at all. Well, of course, Second Chance, huge record for us this year. And indeed, I remember when you came on to actually play the tracks, I think it was off the sampler from Miami, was it? Or someone?
That's right, it was.
You came on, I remember hearing that record and thinking, oh man, I just knew straight away, well, this is definitely in the top 10. Absolutely, I knew it straight away. So I was looking forward to playing it all year. Yeah, so number 4. And of course, a lot of solid ground releases in there as well. Yeah, wonderful stuff. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for the music.
Well, mate, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all you dig little Grovers out there. Nice. And thanks for all the support. and I look forward to much more in the new year, mate.
Speak to you soon. Take care.
Thanks, dude. Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Jay Benham, and you're listening to Niall Redmond on the Dig Little Grove on RTE Pulse.
Europe's favourite dance mix. Live from Ireland, 24 hours a day.
This is RTE Pulse.
The Digital Groove with Niall Redmond.
RTE Pulse.
US Garage and Soulful House promo pressure.
So there you go. That was Jay Benham just over 10 years ago, and indeed just under 10 years ago, but back in 2012, chatting to us. Goes without saying, little did we know, or how would we know? How would you even dream it? No, you wouldn't. That 10 years later we'd be remembering him on the radio tonight on the 26th of September 2022. Well, you heard him talking there to us on the radio. He talked to us many times on the show, and as I said, not only was he an amazing dude, he was just such a great guy. He was an amazing producer. Here's some of his stuff.
I'm a story to be told, with many, many pages to be written. I'm a song with a verse waiting on the melody. I'm not all that I want to be. I thank you, and I ain't what I used to be. So grateful. He forgave and he set me free. I thank you. His love saved and delivered me. More than enough. He's everything I need. He's kind and he's just more than enough. He keeps on blessing me when times get too tough. He shelters and protects me. More than enough. He's everything I need. He's kind and he's just more than enough. He keeps on blessing me when times get too tough. He shelters and protects me. He holds me up when I'm sinking in unforgiving waters. He lifts me up when I'm down and out as I stumble and fall. I'm not all that I want to be. I thank you, and I ain't what I used to be. So grateful. He forgave and he set me free. I thank you. His love saved and delivered me. More than enough. He's everything I need. He's kind and he's just more than enough. He keeps on blessing me when times get too tough. He shelters and protects me. More than enough. He's kind and he's just. He's everything I need.
Hi, this is Jay Benham, and you're listening to the Digital Groove with Niall Redmond.
I'm coming through, though I have a ways to go. Feeling better every day. My confidence has begun to show. Keeping my head held high.
Yeah, if you haven't just joined us tonight, we're remembering Jay Benham on the radio this evening. We love you, man. Thank you so much for this music that's going to last forever and ever and ever. We open up with Jay Benham, Danny Clark and Susu Bobby in a tune called Believe It or Not, More Than Enough. It was Jay's Padapella on his own Keeping Records, formerly Solid Ground. And this is a huge tune for us back in the day, Conqueror, Jay Benham and Danny Clark featuring Don Tallman. And actually that's a Guy Robin mix, which I think was number 1 that year for us, I think about 2011. And Guy Robin, of course, now Jonas Blue, for all of you out there. This is the one Jay is singing on. Here we go, Jay Benham and Angie Brown. The tune is called Dangerous Girls from the Benham and Brown EP. You can get this on Keeping Records as well. These are all on Tracksource. Go and get these immediately after the show tonight. Anyway, a little Jay Benham medley for you tonight. Remembering Jay Benham, who sadly passed away at the age of 50 just last Thursday. Unbelievable. So just if you're walking in the middle of the show tonight, we will be, of course, getting some new tracks, but we wanted to give some of our airtime tonight to our dear friend, good friend, Jay Benham.
Stood outside the club, begging for free membership. Ask her if you want, see if she remembers it. Oh, only 18 and a day. She was dressed to kill in that mysterious way. Slid right up to me and said, you should be dancing with me instead. She's a babe, not a lady. She's a dangerous girl. I'm so dangerous, I don't have to try. She's a babe, not a lady. She's a dangerous girl. Just so dangerous, I'm gonna make you mine. She's a babe, not a lady. She's a dangerous girl. I'm so dangerous, never ever wrong. She's a babe, not a lady. No, no. She's a dangerous girl. Just take me home and turn off the phone, and I know just what you want. She comes out to play with one thing only on her mind. Catch me if you can, making it the perfect crime. Oh, I could celebrate the way she could even make a grown man straight. But I have to say instead, if you think she's yours, you'd be misled. She's a babe, not a lady. She's a dangerous girl. I'm so dangerous, I don't have to try. She's a babe, not a lady. She's a dangerous girl. Just so dangerous, I'm gonna make you mine. She's a babe, not a lady. She's a dangerous girl. I'm so dangerous, never ever wrong. She's a babe, not a lady. No, no. She's a dangerous girl. Just take me home and turn off the phone, and I know just what you want.
Hi, this is Jay Benham, and you're listening to Niall Redmond on the Dig Little Grove on RTE Pulse.
Know just what you want. I know. Know just what you want. I know.
Stood outside the club, begging for free membership. Ask her if you want, see if she remembers it. Oh, only 18 and a day. She was dressed to kill in that mysterious way. Slid right up to me and said, you should be dancing with me instead.
Now, you might have heard reference in our little chat back 10 years ago. This tune was in our top 20 actually that year, 2012. It was number 4 that year for Jay Benham, and Danny Clark. I was mixing up Jay Benham and Angie Brown there, sorry. That's what you just heard, by the way, with, of course, Jay Benham on vocals on Dangerous Girl, keeping records. Well, this tune coming in from our Jay Benham medley tonight is Second Chance with Jocelyn Matthew. And this was number 4, as we said, that year, 2012, in our top 30 tunes of that year. This is kind of hard to get now, so if you have it, hold on to it for dear life, because you ain't going to get this anywhere anymore. Anyway, here we go. Amazing stuff. What a joy to sing along. Sing along to all of them. There we go, 9:30 right now. The first 30 minutes of the show tonight, remembering our dear friends, our dearly beloved friends, a dear friend of ours on the show, dear friend of mine personally, Mr. Jay Benham. And yeah, Jay, thank you so much for always taking care of us. And keep an eye on us down here, will you? Probably it's so hard to pick my favourites. I have so many favourites of Jay Benham and or Solid Ground era all that time. Such a good time in my life as well. So yeah, we said at least give some of our show over very kindly and graciously to Mr. Jay Benham after he's been so great to us and we love him so much. We started off with Jay Benham and Danny Clark featuring Susu Bobby and More Than Enough, Jay's Padapella. Jay Benham and Danny Clark featuring Don Tallman then, a tune called Conqueror, Guy Robbins remix on that huge tune on our show. Unfortunately, this was always unstuck me, and I definitely know I did this back in the day when this came out. So I DJ'd with Jay Brown for years on Sound System back in the day, back in Nova years ago, like years, 8-9 years. So me and Jay Brown were kind of nearly, you know, a duo at one point, in a manner of weird. So I always, when I saw Jay Benham and Angie Brown, I used to always, in my mind, my brain would mangle them together, and I'd always say Jay Brown. And I did it again. At least so consistent, right? Anyway, let's slow that one down. It was Jay Benham and Angie Brown with Dangerous Girl from the Benham and Brown EP. Which we were talking about in that interview from 10 years ago, which you might have heard at the start of the show tonight.
It feels good, don't it?
And all those tunes that I just mentioned are on Keeping Records, which Jay Benham relaunched as a sort of a portal to put out as his back catalogue, I guess. So go buy that stuff now. If you haven't got it already, go find it and buy it. Sadly, this you won't find anymore. You can't seem to get it anymore. The tune you're hearing right now, Jay Benham and Danny Clark, probably my favourite. Probably very hard to pick that. And Jocelyn Matthew, a tune called Second Chance. That's on Solid Ground only, and it's gone. So if you got it back in the day, well done, you. This was number 4 in the top 30 that year, which was 2012, of course, for Jay Benham and Danny Clark and Jocelyn Matthew, and I love that tune. And there you go. So yeah, just join us tonight. We are remembering for the first part of the show tonight, certainly first 30 minutes, our dear friend Jay Benham, who sadly passed away last Thursday at the age of 50. Unbelievable to even say those words to the radio. And we really are thinking of not only his parents and his friends and loved ones and family, but everyone who knew him out there. And if you look at his Facebook page, you will see so many tributes, and rightly so, to a much loved and amazing dude together. So yeah, thinking of you, Jay. Thanks again, mate. Thank you for everything. And you did hear the joy. I labelled it Joy Benham because it always brought me such genuinely, if I could show you. Even on the cartwall in RTE, it was called Joy Benham. And I said it on the night I read about his passing away. That jingle for me just sums up Jay's sense of humour. And I don't know where it came from. I was trying to remember in my mind, where did we get that gag from? I think someone had misspelled Digital Groove as Digital Grove or something. It was something really odd, or misspelled Niall, which isn't unusual. And we were obviously joking about it at the time, and he recorded this skit jingle as a result. And it's his laugh at the end of it, though. It's just, that laugh is the essence of Jay Benham for me. So let's keep that laugh on the air, folks. Let's keep that laugh out there, permeating throughout the universe.
Hi, this is Jay Benham, and you're listening to Niall Redmond on the Dig Little Grove on RTE Pulse.
It really seems quite insignificant to bring you new music tonight, but look, I know Jay would. He was a regular listener to the shows on Amazing, so I know he would be keen for us to bring you the vibes too. So let's do that. So here's our first new one of the night. This is Art Funk Records. It's DPV. It's a tune called Open Your Mind, and this is the original mix. Let's bring some uplifting music still tonight, and let's keep the vibe going on the radio this evening. So yeah, things kind of push back a little bit tonight's show. So we get a little bit deeper, maybe a little later tonight, and we have a few tunes to get through before we get to that. Of course, this is technically opening up our new tunes tonight, DPV. There's a lot of P's in the show tonight. Good old pump shield. Right, so yes, this is DPV. It's a tune called Open Your Minds, the original mix. Art Funk Records, the label. Still got tunes before 10 o'clock from Immaculate featuring K Fox with Kenny Dope on the remix. Yes, Kenny Dope. That's amazing. I love that. Something brand new from Polka House Recordings, from To Sleep on the way. Also something brand new from Soul Power on Soul City Digital, and something brand new from Pat Luck. You're gonna love that. They're all kind of big groove tunes as well, and keep me Pop Shield and Paul Parsons as well. Good lord, that's the one you need the Pop Shield for. Paul Parsons and Bronx Cheer as well. Hopefully all that before 10 o'clock tonight, maybe just after. Maybe just after, let's see. Okay, gonna go to an exclusive next for you. This is from Ralph Session. It should be out about a week's time on Big Speaker Music. The tune here is called Too Good For Me. And we're going to play you the main mix forthcoming from Ralph Session in about a week's time.
This is a world exclusive.
This is a Niall Redmond exclusive track.
Yeah, kind of big club vibes off that, isn't it? Straight nice on radio too, though, don't get me wrong. Mr. Ralph Session. Forthcoming Big Speaker Music, a couple of weeks away yet, but not so long to wait, hopefully. It's called Too Good For Me. That's the main mix. Before this, DPV, tune called Open Your Mind, the original mix on Art Funk Records. And of course, first 30 minutes of the show tonight thrown over to our dear friend, Mr. J. Benham, and the amazing music he made. Only a small sample of the amazing music he made, if I may say.
This is a world exclusive.
Hi, this is Steve Watts from the Global House Session here in the UK, and you're checking out my good friend Niall Redmond on the Digital Groove.
Oh, Watty came in like a cannonball there. Sorry. Boom! Watty in your face. Brand new jingle from Steve Watts. How about that? How about that? Only took me to get COVID. God, give me. Only took me to get COVID to have enough time to put that on the jingle USB. Anyway, here's Kenny Dope on the remix. How about that for you? How about that for you? This is Immaculate, featuring K, spelled K-A-Y-E, K Fox. Kenny Dub's remix of a tune called Do It. Mirrorball Recordings out of Chicago is the label, out now.
Every way that you think you do, I'll make you remember everything that you dream. If you ain't ready, boy, you wanna mess with me, 'cause I'ma make you do it. See what's in my mind, I'ma make you do it. Yeah, yeah. You know you wanna let this slide, I'ma make you do it. Dreams, I'ma make you do it. You know you wanna mess with me.
Monday nights on RTE Pulse with Niall Redmond.
This is Booker T, King of Soul, and you're locked into Ireland's #1 soulful house show, The Digital Groove.
I couldn't really make a word of that ever. Anyway, it is called Running. Well, that's not true because it's called Run In. There's no G, Run In. It is by Soul Power, Soul City Digital, the label. That's the extended mix. That's out today. Before that... Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I'm way ahead of myself. Sorry, yeah, that makes a bit more sense. I was thinking, where's the running bit in this? Right, I need to put my eyes in the right way around. Sorry. Scrap that. This is To Sleep. Maybe I need to sleep. I think that's probably a hidden message. Anyway, Ja Era. There you go. Wow. Makes more sense, Niall. Ja Era. Yada Yada. There you go. To Sleep. Yada Yada. The original mix. Pogo House recordings. Yay. Soul City Digital Records next. Sorry about that. Although I must say, I'm enjoying, not that I don't always enjoy the show, but I'm enjoying the music tonight. Does the music just give you the biggest hug sometimes? It really does. It doesn't always make everything better, but it really is comforting, isn't it, music? I think that's stating the obvious, but yeah, I'm feeling that vibe tonight. Comfort through sound. I will take that. I don't really care if I get the names quite wrong. But hopefully it's the only one. Right, let's just tell you, because at least I'll get you back on track if I back announce these. I'll have me pop shield at the ready, right? You're talking about To Sleep. This is me 25th coffee left this hour of the night. Right, we're just almost 5 minutes away from 10, so let's do a quick recap for you. Yeah, it was a bit of a Jay Benham medley up till past tonight. We also featured some footage of Jay Benham chatting to us on the radio a couple of times over the tenure of our show back in 2012. Those clips were from. And of course, if you're joining us late, that's to remember Jay Benham tonight and remember him fondly and remember him proudly as our friend here on the radio and my friend personally. Jay passed away last Thursday at the age of 50, tragically, and yeah, we're still trying to get our head around that. So that was the first part of the show tonight. From 10:30, you heard T. Pop shield already. No, come on. Pop shield attached to me hat. So yeah, from 10:30 you heard DPV, Open Your Mind on Art Funk Records. Then you had Ralph Session, an exclusive called Too Good For Me, the main mix on Big Speaker Music. Believe it or not, before this, Immaculate featuring K-Fox, Kenny Dope on the remix for a tune called Do It on Mirrorball Recordings. That's out of Chicago. And you just heard To Sleep, Ja Era, the original mix on Pogo House Recordings. There you go. Right, on to Soul Power. Good man, Niall. You just were predicting the future that you already knew. This tune called Runnin'. We have a second opportunity to tell you that. Great. And this is the extended mix, lovely, on Soul City Digital Records. This is going to take us up to 10 o'clock. So we go with the Padlock tune after 10 to 9.
Hi, this is Tony Humphries, and you're checking out my guy Niall Redmond in the mix on Digital Groove.
Oh, thanks, Tony.
Take me nowhere from here. I wanna get away with you. Fly high and the sky is clear. The great escape, just me and my baby. Yeah. Running all over the world. Yeah. Running all over the world.
It's very nice. Soul Power, tune called Run In. No G, Run In. The extended mix, Soul City Digital, out today. Right, countdown to 10 o'clock tonight. So let's tell you what's coming up in hour 2 this evening for you. We'll get to as many as we can. That's all I can promise you. Don't know how many that will be. Keep going till the sands of time run out. Anyway, we have some brand new CEVs after 10 tonight. Some brand new exclusive Miguel Migs tonight. That's for the jog tonight. Brand new DeMarcus Lewis, isn't that great news? Yes. Always welcome some brand new DeMarcus Lewis. Brand new tune on Closer to Truth. You're going to love that. It's a great new EP by G Nice. We got a brand new tune on Unquantize. And hopefully we get to the Lovebirds tune. That's all I can promise you. The rest we'll see how we get on. Is that okay? This is amazing. Please crank this up for the first tune of hour 2 tonight. That's my advice to you out there. Big vibe on this. Loving this when I heard this yesterday. This is Pat Locke. L-O-K it's spelled, by the way. No C. L-O-K. This is called Lasting Love. Label here is Cuckoo Records, spelled with K. So K-O-O Records. Out right now. think how amazing that's going to sound on a big sound system in a club, how amazing it sounds in my headphones, and no doubt on your speakers right now. That is Pat Lock, L-O-K. Tune is called Lasting Love. And that's the extended mix there. Cuckoo Records, spelled with a K, by the way, K-O-O, K-O-O. Out right now.
Be the king, stay the king.
Really looking forward to playing you that tonight. I just, you know, it's one of those tunes, the instant I heard that hook, I was like, whoa, get this on my airwaves now. This is quite nice too, by the way. This is Paul Parsons and Bronx Cheer. The tune here is called Let Love Come Down. Not the reference you think it might be. No, it's not Evelyn Champagne King, no. Anyway, Let Love Come Down is the name of the tune. This is the new disco club mix, by the way. Give Me the Night, the label, no surprise. And today, Paul Parsons, Bronx Cheer, Let Love Come Down.
Hi, this is Grant Nelson reminding you that every Monday from 9 to 11, you're checking out my man Niall Redmond right here on RTE Pulse.
Monday nights on RTE Pulse with Niall Redmond.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a good leather one before we take it a bit deeper for you tonight. This is quite a nice 3-tracker from CEVs. And we've gone obviously for one off it. This tune is called Gemini Prophet. Come on! You know there's a P and a H, come on. So Gemini Prophet is the name of this. The original mix on O'Malia. It's a 3-tracker, as I said, really nice. Get the lot of it. How would you feel? How would you feel if I told you there was a tune on it that samples Corona Rhythm of the Night? What? Already out controversy about Roger Sanchez and the Rhythm of the Night back at Southport Weekender back in 2013 or something. Anyway, it's actually worked quite well. I was nearly going to play that version or that tune off that EP for you, but I went with this one instead. There was no bad choices really, but we had to go for one, and one we did pick is Gemini Prophet. There you go. CEV. Just in case you're conjuring up, how would you use Rhythm of the Night? It just uses the night bit. The night, that's all, right? So you're aware. But go check it out, the whole EP is really good. Before this, Paul Parsons and Bronx Cheer, Let Love Come Down, New Disco Club Mix is the version you heard on Gimme the Night. Before that again, Pat Loke. Essentially kicking off hour 2 tonight with a tune called Lasting Love, the extended mix on Cuckoo Records. Yes, a little bit behind tonight, 30 minutes behind in fact, because we were remembering our dear friend Mr. Jay Benham for the first 30 minutes of the show tonight.
Hi, this is Jay Benham, and you're listening to Niall Redmond on the Dig Little Grove on RTE Pulse.
So we're going to get deeper around now. We'll get deeper in the next few tunes for you tonight, okay? Now, don't be deceived. Some lovely tunes on the way for the next 45 minutes. And as usual, we were oversubscribed entirely anyway. Tonight, that's the norm now. It's a good complaint, I guess. We're not scraping the barrel. We're overflowing in the barrel. So we've got to just try and pick the best tunes we can for you on the radio. I'll get to as many as I can. I really want to get to the Lovebirds tune, so we may have to finish on that. But let's see how we get on. Alright, first of our kind of deeper tunes tonight. This is Honey Butter Records initially. We're going to start off with Luca Olavoto. So this is by tune, it's called Don't Change.
Good evening, this is Antonic, shedding love right here on Digital Groove with my man Niall Redmond, boosting up the best of the best garage and deep vocal house in sound. Turn it up.
That's quite a nice EP too, that. Brand new from Luca Olivoto. Maybe that's forgive my Dublin interpretation of that. Don't Change, the name of that tune. Honey Butter Records. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Honey Butter Records is the label there. Yeah, two tracks we got off that, No Doubt and Don't Change. Both of them lovely, but we obviously could only go with one for you tonight, so go check it out for yourself. That one entitled Don't Change. Right, something for Jogger tonight. Jog, how are you? I know you're away, so hopefully you're well rested and chilling out and all that kind of thing. And yes, nice to have you along as always tonight, mate. Sorry it's a bit later than normal, but of course extenuating circumstances this week for sure. So we shall play this for you immediately, an exclusive tonight for your forthcoming Salted Music. This is Artone and Simo featuring Trom Bobby. It's called Falling Again, the one, the only, label boss and all-round legend, Mr. Miguel Miggs. On the Deep Feels mix, this is going to deep your feels big time. Forthcoming in about a month, especially for the Jogger tonight. Big love, mate.
World exclusive.
Jogger tonight. Give it about a month, alright, just on the safe side. Artone and Simo featuring Trom Bobby, all one word, Trom Bobby. Tune is called Falling Again. Miguel Miggs' Deep Feels remix for you there on Salted Music. for Jogador tonight. Good man yourself. And yeah, big love as always, mate. Hope you're well. Right, like some grilled nuts and sandwich, by the way, is how this is spelt. What am I talking about? In the name of God, making you hungry as well. This is the grilled nuts and sandwich, WHICH, sandwich, all one word, by the way, EP from our dear friend Mr. DeMarcus Lewis, 4-track EP. Tunes entitled To Me Now, A Moment, Memories to Life, I think it is, yes. And a tune called Cut a Rug. Let's play you Cut a Rug off this. All of it's amazing, so grab the lot on his Bandcamp right now. Of course, the label is Grin Music. It will drop on Tracksource eventually, but if you want to grab it straight away, just have to go to him and get it on his Bandcamp. DeMarcus Lewis off the Grilled Nuts and Sandwich EP, track number 4, Cut a Rug.
Monday nights on RTE Pulse with Niall Redmond. Pressure. Exclusive. The Digital Groove.
This is off quite a nice EP from G Nice. This is for coming closer to truth. Good news is this is quite close to dropping. I think it's dropping maybe tomorrow. 3-tracker EP. The EP is called Take Your Time. There is a track called Take Your Time on it. It's the third track. This is the second track on it. It's called Link Up, and there's also a track called I House You. All of them really good. We've gone for Link Up on this particular edition of the Digital Groove tonight. Quick time check for you, 32 minutes past 10 p.m. right now. This Digital Groove night, Monday the 26th of September 2022. Remembering Jay Benham, our dear friend at the start of the show tonight for the first 30 minutes, of course. If you missed that, you can get an opportunity to have a little listen when the show finishes on the RTE player and listen back there to some chat with Jay 10 years ago, believe it or not, and some amazing Jay Benham productions as well, which you will feel good about. So that's kind of our deeper selections for you tonight. We had Luca Olivotto, a tune called Don't Change on Honey Butter Records. Then the exclusive Miguel Miggs Deep Feels remix of Falling Again by Artone and Simo featuring Trom Bobby. Nonetheless, forthcoming Salted Music. Before this was the brand new DeMarcus Lewis, a tune off his 4-track Grilled Nuts and Sandwich EP. The track we played you was a tune called Cut a Rug. That was on Grin Music, his own label. And once again taken from G Nice. This is called Link Up on Closer to Truth, out tomorrow we think. Right, a bit more of a vocal on this one. This is Mr. Pirate Brain, all one word, by the way, featuring Leandra. Tune is called It's Time to Think About It. We're going to play the Jeffrey C remix, this on Unquantized Records. Right, we've just 20 minutes to go till 11 o'clock tonight, and we'll have room for a couple more tunes. Good news. Well, I thought we might. I didn't know how far we're going to make it tonight. Anyway, that's MF. Sorry, Mr. The R looks like an F when you're blind. Mr. Pirate Brain. There you go. Featuring Leandra. It's time to think about it. Jeffrey C on the remix there for Unquantized Records. How about that? You know what it was? We get to a tune that has MF in it instead of Mr. I just randomly read out track names now. It seems to be the kind of current trend of the show. Just pick a track and read it out. Could be right, could be wrong. You know, probably a 1 in 20 chance of getting it right. Maybe it's some kind of brain fog from the long COVID. I don't know. Probably not. Okay, next tune I was really looking forward to getting to. Don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to getting to all these tunes tonight, but this next tune I was looking forward to getting to tonight. Simply because any tune by Lovebirds you look forward to getting to and getting into your, I suppose your playlist at some point. So we should do that next for you. To be the night of the 3 trackers, certainly night of the EPs. Anyway, this is a lovely EP. This is the only kind of up tempo one. Is a bit. The other's a bit more chilled. It's a bit more down tempo, more kind of broken beat, jazzy type of things. They're great though, but this is a bit more club oriented, I guess. Is what I'm saying. From Seb Doring, this is Lovebirds. Just Music and Me is the name of this tune. Teardrop Recordings is the label. You can grab this immediately on promo on tracksource.com. Yeah, brand new from Bassy Doring, aka Lovebirds. That's from the Just Music and Me EP. Easy to remember because that's called Just Music and Me, the track you're hearing there. Also, slightly more down tempo, but slower tempo than this. Is Straight from the Heart, all one word. And For Anna, Disco Heaven, that's the other tune on that too. Get the lot. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you get the lot? Anyway, good news is it's out today. Teardrop Recordings, the label. Lovebirds, Just Music and Me EP. Right, here's the MF bit. MF Robots. At least I didn't call them Mr. Robots. MF Robots. This is called Make the Call. This is the 2 Soul Fusion House remix. The other mix on this are kind of more song orientated, as in full band. That makes sense. Anyway, BBE is the label here. Yeah, what do you think of that? MF Robots, Make the Call. Can almost have started the show, this tune. Couldn't it? Anyway, 2 Soul Fusion on the house remix for you. BBE, the label before it's Lovebirds. Just Music and Me from the Just Music and Me EP on Teardrop Recordings. Well, we've got 8 minutes, well, just under 8 minutes to play you some tunes. Let's try and get 2 more in for you at least tonight. And still going to play something for Linda G, so let's do that next. How about that? Right, we're going to go to Fourth Set Records, definitely for our second last tune. This is True to Life, aka Richie Pring, and this is the tune called Move Closer. We're going to play the original mix tonight. For Linda G, there this evening, and yeah, hopefully catch you soon. Yeah, for Linda G tonight, it's called Move Closer. Richie Pring, True to Life. It's by Fourth Set Records. It's the label, it's the original mix. Almost winding up the Digital Groove tonight, 26th of September, 2022. Almost time for us to say goodbye on the radio tonight. And don't forget, if you missed it and you came in a little bit late, what you're entitled to do at the show tonight, listen back to the first 30 minutes. It's a tribute to our dear friend Mr. J. Benham, who sadly passed away last Thursday at the age of 50, just beggars belief. And we had some clips of Jay talking to me on the radio 10 years ago, believe it or not. Good Lord. And played a good few favourites of ours, among many favourites of ours, by the way, by Jay Benham. And that was at the start of the show tonight. So that's why we're kind of a little bit all over the place. And absolutely no worries with that. The least we could do for a dear friend of ours to remember him. And again, once again, big love to all his friends and family out there who are feeling it right now, as well as we are too. We also said at the very start of the programme tonight, if you reflect about anything at the start of the show tonight, Pieta House's number 1-800-247-247, where you can text HELP to 51444 here in Ireland, that is. And of course the Samaritans here in Ireland, 116123 is the number there. If anything affects you tonight on the show at the start, we would absolutely encourage you to do that. We have to go. We'll talk to you next Monday. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. We love you, Jay Benham. Take care of yourself wherever you may be. We'll see you one day again. God bless. Good night. Right, we're off the air on the radio, but we'll continue going on the vid for a little bit. Let's take at least 3 more tunes. This is Groove Odyssey Records, Randy Peterson and Perry X. Where's me pop seal? Good Lord. Hey. Randy Peterson and Perry X. Tune is called Feel Alive. This is the vocal mix.
You're making
Yeah, that's a Groove Odyssey Records. Of course, Bobby and Steve's label. It's Randy Peterson and Per X. Sorry, Perry X. It could be easily confused with Per QX, but it's not. It's Perry X. Perix. Okay. And that's called Feel Alive. The vocal mix on Groove Odyssey Records out today. Grab it immediately. Right, big pianoing coming on this one. This is Ronnie Pakiti. I think it's pronounced Pacitti. That be Pakiti? Pasiti. Anyway, big vibes in this, as you can hear. Static Energy is the name of this. NRG, of course, not the words, the letters NRG. This is the extended mix on Eaton Messy. Wait for the big piano bit to drop in this about halfway through. Old school flavour on that. It's Ronnie Pacitti, I think it's pronounced. Static Energy is the name of the tune, though. It's the extended mix. Eaton Messy is the label there for you. Right, big chin from Smoke and Joe next, and James Hur, as in look at you like me Hur, H-U-R-R. And Stealth, a tune called Begging for Change, got a bit of a gospel vibe on this. Going to finish off our little extended video tonight for you. Glasgow Underground, the label here. Anyway, we should talk to you before we officially say bye-bye. That's a wrap. I gotta go do important things like earn some money, and yes, so look, thanks for checking us out tonight. Slightly different, that's how we ran over a bit in the video. Nice big long tribute to Mr. J Benham tonight, and rightly so. At the start of the show, first 30 minutes, go have a listen back if you are something you missed, so you can go check that out in the RTE radio player, or indeed have a look back at the video here on Facebook or indeed YouTube. Thank you so much. We're back next week. Are we in October next week? We might be in October next week. I think we might be. So we could be in October. Yeah, we will. We'll be in October next week. So yes, there you go. Welcome October, ADE month. Great stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. That was Smoke and Joe finishing things off, by the way, for you there. What was the name of that? It was called Begging for Change. Smoke and Joe, James Hur, H-U-R, me Hur is great. James, you remember that one? So Smoke and Joe, James Hur and Stealth, Begging for Change, the extended mix on Glasgow Underground. We're back next Monday. Join us then. See you then. Thanks for checking us out. Good night to you.